Before we get into the video, quick announcement. Me and the Disc Golf Depot have teamed up to collect donations on behalf of Snowcap community charities. There are 2 different collection bins at the Disc Golf Depot right now as of January 2023. Anybody who donates to those bins will be entered to win prizes such as Upper Park bags, discs, and more. If you have any questions about this or need any more information, please feel free to reach out to me or the Disc Golf Depot directly. Thank you. Oh snap, we are back at the review table, and it is time to take a look at another stack of plastic and accessories here for Mailcall Madness on the channel. I got some stuff from MVP, got some stuff from some sponsors, some gifts, some stuff I got for myself, stuff I got in trade. All the different ways I bring in plastic here on the channel, I like to show it off to you guys and let you know. But we're going to start off with some accessories, actually, in this particular video. As always, there are links in the description for all of these various things for you to check out. If somebody sends me something, I'll always do my best to put a pertinent link down in the description for you to go take a look at these products for yourselves. And we have some new stuff from DG Max Wax. This is the Snapstick version, and they also sent us my preferred version, which is this mini size kind of wax puck here. And this is the new Winter Blend from DG Max Wax. So it is just a grip enhancement wax, basically. This one's extra sticky and a little softer in general. Like the surface is a little softer, a little more sticky than the original blend. And even without being able to test this in really extreme temperatures, I did use it down in like the 40s and stuff, but nothing like below freezing or really that cold to test around here. For me personally, just down in the valley in Portland, doesn't get that cold typically, and I'm usually not out playing when it does. It gets windy a lot when it's that cold too. But anyway, this is just like has a little bit of a softer feel to it, a little more sticky, and honestly, I feel like I would probably prefer this in general. I probably end up using this all year round. Honestly, just has a little bit easier to get that nice coating on my thumb or on my fingers, and this stuff really helps if you have any kind of grip issues. You have really sweaty hands, then obviously something like a whale sack or a dry bag would be really helpful, but I don't have that problem. If anything, my hands are typically more dry, and I like to sometimes I lick my thumb to get a good grip on a putter or something like that. This stuff is like doing that times 100. Just gives you so much more grip under the thumb and just really helps with a secure feel in the hand and a nice release. So that's DG Max Wax Winter Blend. Happy to continue to work with them here on the channel. They've been solid. Sent me a bunch of their stuff to try out last year. New product. This is called the Disc Doctor, and it comes in this little, pretty handy little package here with some other goodies in there. We'll unbox one of these in a second, and I'll show you what's in here. But this thing is a really neat little tool. I'll show you the card here so you can get an idea. Essentially, it provides various different types of surfaces and shapes to clean off certain edges and rough edges of your discs, right? I've actually found that this interior edge right here is my preferred spot to use it. Hold on, bear with me. Making a mess over here. What I did was I used it on one of my daggers where the bead was kind of jagged there. There's some flashing on the bead, and then you just use this like this, and then I just kind of worked it back and forth. And it's strange because it doesn't like scrape it like sandpaper, but it does work. Based on my initial testing of this product, definitely seems to do the job. It really does. It doesn't like, again, it doesn't like sand it down. It doesn't like cause a lot of, there's no like file marks or anything like you'd see from like an emery board or something where you can actually see the roughness. This really just kind of like knocks the sharp edges off. And you can do it on the outside of your discs. This is a dagger, which is about as deep as putters get, so it's a little tricky to do it on a dagger, but you can use this flat portion here if you had some flashing on the outside edge. And then there's all kinds of different surfaces here if you want to use those, but I really like just this big interior surface here. I cleaned up the bead on one of my daggers, and I also cleaned up the bead on one of my VIP harps. That was pretty gnarly, and it really helped. Makes it feel really smooth in the hand. That particular harp I throw a lot, you guys have seen in a lot of videos. I actually had a specific spot where I grab it because the flashing was a little nicer on that one area. Now I don't have to worry about that anymore. The whole disc feels smoother. So that's the Disc Doctor in and of itself. Y'all also saw my new dagger here. I've been throwing the dagger as well as putting with them. and I actually quite like it very much off the tee. I'm really surprised by it, for sure. It's one of those things where I didn't really expect to like the disc for putting, and I definitely didn't expect to be throwing it off the tee, but I'm doing both, and it's working out quite well. It's really slow and floaty off the tee, so I grabbed this one out of the used bin at the Disc Golf Depot for a good price. It matches with the other one that I've been bagging. It might even be the same. It's probably the same run or whatever. Let's get these out of the way. I'm going to hold on to this one, this blue one here, and probably do a giveaway with that eventually, so stay tuned for that here on the channel if you're interested. I'll take a look at what's inside this pink one here. So it comes with, of course, the disc doctor itself. It's on one of these rubber stretchy hair ties. I believe I gave the other one to my wife. She used it. And then, because I didn't really need to attach it to anything or whatever for that particular gray one. Then it also comes with, you got a sticker in here, which is nice. You got the card here again, like we saw earlier. And then some really fine grain sandpaper that I believe is all, 1200 grit, 220. So there's some varying levels of sandpaper that get thrown in here as well that you can use to clean up really rough discs, or if you really want to take a sharp edge off of it or kind of reshape a spot that got damaged or something like that. Some nice fine grained sandpaper for that. And then also something that's always helpful to have in your golf bag, as far as I'm concerned, is a small nail clipper. You know, sometimes my nails bother me. I don't like to have any fingernails. Just try to trim them short. And then this is also really helpful to snip out a piece of disc that's hanging. If you were to hit like a metal sign or something like that and take a gash out of your disc, you can use this to clip off the little pieces that are hanging off, and then use the other products to actually smooth it out. So that's the Disc Doctor. Thank you to them for sending this over to test out and to try out and show off on the channel. Always happy to connect with a new company making a new product out there, and this is something that I haven't heard of anybody else really putting out there, as a tool to help you clean up your discs and have them feeling nice and smooth in the hand. So it definitely should be nice. Next, we're going to take a look at some plastic, and we're going to start off with a couple more Disc Golf Nerd Defiants. These just came in from my personal stash from NSH Custom Discs for the new year. So these will get worked into the rotation. I've been throwing these a ton still. Easily my favorite disc from last year, as you guys saw in my top 3 discs of the year video. And word is starting to get out about these. I'm starting to see you guys tag me in some posts on Instagram with them, or comment that you purchased one and that you like the feel and all that kind of stuff. So that really warms my heart. Makes me happy to see you guys are actually purchasing these and checking them out. Carrying them in your bag really means a lot to me. I also want to say thank you to NSH Custom Discs, because they provided me with a coupon code that you guys can use to help support me, just like my code with Upper Park. It is Disc Golf Nerd 10, and you'll get 10% off anything that you need other than the Tour Series stuff, since I already get a direct chunk out of this, as does any of the other players that have a support disc with NSH Custom Discs. They get paid directly out of that, so they don't do any discounts on that. But anything else that you might want, if you want a Mr. Putt or a Hexus or a Nexus, some of my other favorites from them, you can get 10% off using my code DiscGolfNerd10. Moving on from there, I don't need to talk too much about the Defiance. Y'all hear me talk about those plenty on the channel here, and you're going to continue to, because I really genuinely love those discs. Okay, gyroplastic. Rare that I actually bring in any gyroplastic these days, but I did pick up the Madison Walker Tour Series, Team Series Rhythm. Let's take a look at this guy out of the bag. I don't know if I'm going to actually throw this. I don't think so. Probably just end up going on the wall over by my drum set, since not only am I a drummer and just getting back into drumming pretty heavy in the last month or so, but I also grew up crabbing on the East Coast out there. Blue crab was a big part of my summer and early part of the fall growing up every year, so I thought it was only fair to grab one of these. You can see my light and my camera. Hopefully you're not seeing me in this reflection here. But really, really rad artwork that I just kind of had to support. Mad's a teammate of mine on Team Upper Park and just seems like a genuinely nice person. And so I wanted to grab one of these to hang on the wall. But yeah, Rhythm is a 7-speed understable driver from Axiom. Have not thrown these. I like this color scheme as well. Nice kind of hunter orange with a chartreuse rim. Would be a great color to throw out there. I got a 170. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up tossing it at some point, but probably be more likely to get a pair of stock ones to test and review, and just keep this one as a wall hanger. Who knows if they're going to run more of those or whatever in that stamp. Probably not. And then the glitch. All right, so this thing, the hype about this thing just continues to roll along. 1700 are the flight numbers on this thing. The Disc Golf Depot was kind enough to hook me up with one of these, and then I actually purchased the second one so we can have two of them to test, because I didn't want to ask for two from them, because every time they get in a stack of them, they sell out pretty quick. These are definitely still a very hyped disc that a lot of people are enjoying having. Andy actually raved about these. He played some catch with one, and he had a great time with it, like after leagues or something like that, and he was raving about it, which is rare for him to like anything, let alone something that isn't made by Discraft. But yeah, got the nice gyro rim there. Got like a little bit of a bead kind of hanging out the bottom there. It's relatively deep in feel. It's got kind of that hybrid frisbee type shape. The funny thing about this is, you know, everybody's raving about these. I got out and threw it, and it flies almost exactly like the brand new NSH Discs Hexus that just came out relatively recently. It's almost the same kind of thing, where if you get it to stand up straight, it'll just fly laser straight without fading very much. You can get it to hold over pretty easy. Was I blown away with the flight of this thing? Like it was some amazing disc that I've never seen the likes of before? No, not at all. I mean, it's a nice straight flying disc. Yeah, I wasn't like amazed by it, but only really threw it a few times though. So look for more content coming out with these, whether we're going to do like, you know, challenge rounds. I have these, I have hydrogens, I have rattlers, I have a Hexus. Maybe we'll compare out there. Maybe we'll do like glitch only round kind of thing to test how they work. But yeah, I think it could be a functional disc for certain players out on the course, and also just seemed like a fun disc to have to play catch with and to mess around with out there on the course, to warm up and throw fun shots and stuff. So I'm happy to have a pair of them to mess around with. Nothing against it. It's just when these hype discs come out like this, and you guys know I've tested hundreds of golf discs, it's really, you know, it's rare that they really surprise me all that much, and same kind of situation here. Okay, next. Traded some plastic with a gentleman locally who hooked me up with a couple of really nice Havocs. And super funny and rare to find somebody who actually has things that I want for trades. You know, people ask me all the time, are you looking for any trades? And generally the answer is no, just because I'm so picky about what I do want. It's so rare that anybody has that. But he had this nice kind of lava looking, older, somewhat slight dome. What's the weight on this guy? 174. It's not a digi weight, so it's not that old. I'm not exactly sure what the year would be on the make on this Havoc, but it's definitely an older run, gold line, nice feel. Just be a backup for now. I have not thrown that one yet. I have thrown this air one, and it was super random that he happened to have an air Havoc, because these are pretty tough to find. Yeah, I'm really happy to have another one in my inventory. This one's fresher than the yellow one that I threw for a few years. Crushing this one. Goes far, nice flyer, still has some stability left. Which I like, and yeah, good winter disc. You know, the air plastic has a little bit more give to it. It's lighter. I'm not throwing with as much speed and spin generally in the winter, colder temps. My body's not as loose, etc., etc. And with that in mind, I actually purchased myself a Pro Wraith, and this is the first Wraith I've purchased from my own bag in God knows how long. I must have had some kind of Wraith at some point previous to this, but 11, 5, -1, and 3, those are not accurate for this Wraith. This thing is a laser. It is a 162 Pro plastic Wraith. I like this new stamp. It's really clean and simple. I'm not a big fan of this Innova stamp. Like the way the O looks is a little weird, but I really like this. It's just sharp. And Innova's always been good at that. Like the Star discs always had a nice, sharp, clean look to the lettering that I've always liked. And yeah, good looking disc. Slight dome, kind of moderate dome. Doesn't really pop, but it's not bored flat. And this thing's a laser beam. Hyzer flip straight, right out of the box. As it continues to break in, it'll probably be more of a hyzer flip to kind of slow pan to the right kind of disc, hopefully. And just a disc I wanted to test, a little bit slower speed, and a really easy disc to find and replace as well. So it might kind of complement my other discs with that. Finally, rounding it out, we got a couple of its. I really enjoyed testing the DX It. You guys might have seen my review on it. I can put that in the description of this video as well if I remember. Really fun disc to throw. I've been carrying and bagging the DX It since then, and I wanted to try them out in some other plastics, so I picked up this Star one. First, we're going to take a look at Baby Billy, and this is a custom die from my good friend Anthony. We were just able to finally exchange Christmas gifts last weekend, I believe, so we haven't really seen each other very much. The weather's been crazy, windy, rainy, super cold. the holidays, etc., etc. I haven't seen him for a while, so it was cool to get a little late Christmas gift, and super stoked on this baby Billy die. Max weight, G-Star it, and already throwing it, already liking it. It is definitely a little bit more stable than the DX, but not quite as stable as the regular Star. I got this beautiful Proto Star for myself. Picked this one up at the Disc Golf Depot as well. And this is a 171, just Proto Star, regular Star plastic, beautiful bright pink color. And this one's a little bit more stable still. So they kind of layer together well. It should be pretty nice to continue to test these and see how they all work. But I'll probably end up throwing the G-Star and the DX if I had to guess. And then I'll kind of hold on to this one for other uses, or for a backup or whatever, because I like the G-Star plastic and I don't mind it breaking in a little faster, and I definitely don't mind the little bit of extra grip and flexibility. Really, really nice grip to this thing on the flight plate, but the rim is still kind of got some chunky mass to it, so it doesn't really bend and flop around, but the flight plate has an excellent grip and give to it. So that's baby Billy. That's my stack of its, my new Pro Wraith, since I'm throwing Innova now for some reason. Send help. We got some Havocs. We got some glitches, of course. We have the Madison Walker Drumming Crab Rhythm that's going to go right on my wall as soon as I'm done filming this. We, of course, got a pair of new DGN Defiants. You guys can support me by purchasing those. Link in the description. And we got a nice backup Dagger that'll go in the bag. And some fun accessories from Disc Doctor and our buddies over there at DG Max Wax. So thank you to everybody for your continued support. New year, kicking it off here, showing off some new plastic and stuff. And I will be doing the same next month as well. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button. I love you all, and I'll talk to you later. Cheers.